Now, as Rwanda begins the 100 days commemoration of the genocide against the Tutsi that claimed more than 1 million Tutsis, the question on whether the world has learned from such a tragedy still remains. Honore Gatera started working at the Kigali Genocide Memorial as a tour officer in 2004 when it was first opened. Today, he manages the memorial that is the final resting place to more than 250,000 Tutsis who were killed in the genocide. He spoke with KTN's Eugene Anangwe on the significance of the memorial and what the world can learn from Rwanda's history.
Gatera, you manage or you have a part to play in the Genocide Memorial here in Gisozi. First of all, tell us a bit about the significance of this memorial to those who don't understand it.
Yes. Yeah, the Kigali Genocide Memorial is one of the 6 national memorials in Rwanda. It has a great importance looking at the number of people and the caliber of the people that we welcome here in the country. It's an educational center for so many people. But at the beginning, it's a burial place for the victims where we provide dignity to more than 250,000 people who died, who are buried here. So it's a place where those people come to pay their tribute, to pay respect to the victims of the genocide, and to get educated to the genocide in Rwanda, because we receive a good number of foreigners who come to Rwanda and they learn about the progress of this nation. But we always show the darker past that we had. And this chapter has influenced the Rwandans to work hard to become who we are today.
Right.
So it's a place for remembrance, it's a place for learning, and it's a place where everyone comes to understand where Rwandans are coming from and where they are heading to.
Right. Does it worry you that you have visitors who come here, you know, even top dignitaries, people of influence, from the countries they come from, but even after coming here and receiving the sobering situation from this particular memorial, they still go back to their countries. And a few years later, during electioneering periods or during election periods, or even after elections, there are fights, political instigated fights. Does it hurt you that probably the world is not really learning even from what they come here to see at the Genocide Memorial?
Yes, it does. On an individual basis, it does very much. As even someone who went through the genocide, it does matter. And sometimes you wonder if humanity has learned a lesson from the background that we know, from the Holocaust, from the definition of the genocide, from the never again that the world, the entire humanity, has assigned to themselves that they have to fight against genocide and its ideology. Basically, Rwanda was a case after the Holocaust. Cambodia was a case after the Holocaust. And as you said, we see countries suffering from conflicts. We see countries suffering from ideologies that may erupt and become genocide into genocide.
Yes.
And yeah, it is still an issue. You always wonder what to do, and you always try to do your best to make sure that you educate those people. But I think I wouldn't say that the time is now. The time has been in the past. We never learned something. We need to learn. And that's why, particularly this memorial, focuses on educating young Rwandans to make sure that we equip them with the capacity to think critically. Critical thinking is key in these terms of preventing the genocide, to make sure that we raise up a future generations for a nation that will be able to prevent mass atrocities and genocide itself.
Right. Finally, President Paul Kagame in his speech, he said he cannot assure of 50 years from now, you know, but what he is assuring is that the genocide that happened here will never happen again. How do we ensure that the future generations take advantage of what is here at the Gisozi Genocide Memorial Center so that they can be able to learn and keep off from ever having a tragedy that happened here in Rwanda again?
Yeah. Personally, I think that every Rwandan seconds the president of Rwanda in commenting like that, because we need to assure that the genocide never happens in this country. And as a generation that went through the genocide, we have a lot to teach to the future generations. The Kigali Genocide Memorial has a role to play in that. It's not only that we give respect and dignity to the victims of the genocide, but our education wing, through the museum and different programs of archiving and research, we are trying to emphasize on facts that push away the genocide ideology, that make sure that people understand this story very well, that the young Rwandans are educated to this story very well, so that when they grow up, they will not be wondering and say, what did really happen? You know, people commenting that there is a genocide in Rwanda, and they don't say it's a genocide against Tutsi.
Right.
And it has a story of more than 30 years of preparation, of educating people to hatred, to divisionism. That's what we try to do. And we accompany it with facts and researches that we put in our archives. And whatever we do, we need to sustain this so that it will be transmitted to generation and generations.
Thank you so much for your time, sir.